Let's talk about the benefits of narrating your own audiobook. If you're here, I'm guessing you already know that there's a benefit, and that's why you're interested in narrating in the first place. But I just want to share a couple of things that you might not have thought of. So, first of all, you're going to end up with an audiobook, which is pretty amazing. For me, that has fueled a lot of different creativity, storytelling in a different way. It's tapped into my acting background, which I love. But if you don't have an acting background, you might find a lot of joy in storytelling in this way. It also creates an author brand. It allows people to really connect with you. Readers are looking for those experiences right now. So those are some pretty obvious ones. The less obvious ones are that it will improve your actual writing. If you've ever participated in a critique group or a reading of your work with other people, you've probably had the experience of seeing things in a completely new light and realizing things about your writing that you had never seen before. That happens when you're narrating because you're reading it out loud. So not only do you get to find last minute typos, it's like that just in time editing when you're reading. I've found typos even after paying incredible editors because we're humans and there are still mistakes. So you get a wonderful last pass on your manuscript before you publish it. But you also get to see your characters and your writing in a new light, the same way that you would in those reading or critique scenarios, but it's on your own, which is really cool. So you read that stuff out loud and you start to see things about your writing, patterns that you didn't pick up before, character voices that you maybe thought were one way, but then when you read it out loud, it sounds not the way that you intended, or maybe it's in a good way different. All of those things are going to inform your writing moving forward. And one of the biggest things that we're going to talk about and that you'll find is that your tagging really changes. So instead of using he said, she said, speech tagging, you'll find that doesn't really convert well to audio. And so it allows you to transform your writing in that way and get rid of some of that filler stuff and do it in a more precise, concise way. So for all of those reasons, I think that self-narration is so important and such a valuable asset. I know it takes a little bit of a learning curve, but I think that you will find the benefits far outweigh that initial input and cost. I think narration also allows you to kind of start thinking about things from the end to the beginning instead of the other way around. I know as writers, we do that in our plotting. We try to take the end and figure out what's happening here to lead us to that end. And the same thing happens in our process when we're doing narration, because we are automatically thinking, your brain starts to think ahead and understand what it's going to need in the future. And that naturally translates into some different patterns and skills when we're writing. So I'm excited for you to see all of those benefits. Let's move along.